The Hogwarts Legacy boycott failed. Days before Hogwarts Legacy's official release, the verdict is already in. Efforts to rally a boycott of the much talked about video game over its association with embattled author J.K. Rowling have failed.
Oh my God!
I don't really use the term woke, but it's what most people say. I say SJW more than anything, but either one, woke, SJW, it could and should be on the ropes. I think it was Chris Gore who said that he thinks that it's basically over, but it's still going to be a couple of years before we actually see it in media, mainly because a lot of these projects are being worked on now that are still, on the tails or part of the momentum of woke bullshit. So it's going to be a couple of years before it dies down. I'm not sure that's the case. If it's one thing for a company like, say, Warner Brothers or Disney, any of these big companies, to look at the SJW shit that they've produced over the years and see how much it's failed. But it's another thing for them to actually not double, triple down, especially with the kind of people that they have working at their companies. So, you have developers or a developer on Hogwarts who literally boycotted the game he worked on, So he thought it was more important to virtue signal and be like, I'm boycotting the game, instead of just saying, hey, I worked on this with other people and we all were just interested in making a great game. This wasn't about hurting trans people, anything like that. He didn't say that. He worked on the fucking game and he's acting like, well, I just followed orders. I had to because I got to pay bills. He didn't go, yeah, none of us, we were just working on the game. I wanted to pay bills. None of us were thinking about hurting trans people when we did this. We wanted to make a good game. But again, he couldn't say that. He literally this fucking idiot had to get up there and virtue signal about, I'm boycotting the game, even though I worked on it. And then he was doubling, tripling down with people pointing out the hypocrisy and saying, you could have just quit instead of working on it. Well, I needed to pay bills. And it's like, well, that's the mentality of the people working on this game. They were working on the fucking game before she even, became a target of trans activists, Rowling. So why couldn't you say, we were already working on this game? We already put a lot of money into this. I just wanted to be like a part of the game development. We weren't thinking about hurting trans people. That's all you had to say. That would have been a reasonable thing to say. But he wanted the virtual signal. Maybe he was afraid of sociopaths online. And that's the thing. So I'm saying basically, Warner Brothers, Disney can say, man, we have been listening to these blue-haired, pink-haired fucking idiots for years now. And we're more and more, the returns are diminishing and diminishing. Look at Ant-Man. Ant-Man is essentially a failure. And I do believe that they were going to kill Ant-Man. And then they realized, I don't know when, but at some point they realized, if we kill this guy and replace him with the daughter, we're going to be screwed going forward. Look at what's happened to She-Hulk, probably. I don't know what they saw that made them go, okay, this is, I still don't think, I know they delayed the Marvels to the end of the year because it's terrible. I still don't think that there's enough smart people at these companies that are going to fully divest themselves from this inclusion and diversity bullshit. I think there's going to be a lot of people still pushing for it. They're going to be award shows, and the media, of course, is going to constantly snipe and attack. And instead of just ignoring them and making money, they're going to be like, well, we got to give a dog a bone. We still got to do it. We still got to make characters where the women are constantly shitting on the men and being overpraised and being Mary Sue's. We still have to do it. We got no choice. We got to do it. So that's the thing. I'm done with AAA games. I think for the most part, I'm going to get Hogwarts Legacy. I have a PS4, so I'm going to have to wait another month or two, but I am looking forward to that. I don't see anything this year, AAA wise, that is really interesting. The RE4 remake, there's already got, I don't think it's going to be completely SJW, but there's a couple of things that I've seen. I don't like the look for, I'm going to call it Karen, for Ashley. They removed the ballistics line. Looks like they're keeping Luis alive longer, which I feel like we can't kill the Latin POC character too soon. That's wrong. I feel like they're doing things like that, but still, that'd be a fine twist for me that they keep him alive longer. But I think with RE4 remake in particular, the main thing that's bothering me about it is the faces. Louis looks fucking ridiculous. Ashley looks terrible, and Leon looks like he's ill. Not with the virus or anything, but his face looks weird. His head looks too big. His eyes, he looks emaciated. Something's wrong. So I'm not interested in that. But anyway, talking about AAA gaming, last year when I was playing Forbidden West, and I was getting closer and closer to the end, I was like, I'm done with the series. No more Horizon for me. Story was boring. Aloy is boring as hell. They don't want a female character to be appealing, not just physically, but her personality. They don't want her to be appealing to men. They don't want her to seem approachable and nice. They don't like that, SJWs.
If I can get it,
Zoe and the Nora have spread word of your story.
Look at this
And
dude.
what you want.
Wait till you see the.
We know of no spirit.
Oh yeah, 2 Sony exclusives made their way onto the worst games of the year list. Yet another quickly forgotten game, Horizon Forbidden West. It's all the same shit from the last game. They honestly did not improve the open world in any way. And that's about the best I can say about this game. Everything else was fucking horrible. Whether it's the writing, the character design, which the character design specifically is without a doubt the worst fucking element. This game is the ugliest game I've ever seen. I have never seen such a juxtaposition between the beauty of the open world itself, which obviously all of the various art designers put a lot of effort into, but then the human models are some of the ugliest I've ever seen. It's literal dysgenics, because the humans of the past gave their ugly-ass, disgusting DNA to this AI that then made clones of them once Earth was inhabitable again, right? So honestly, this isn't even a complaint about the game being diverse, though it is kind of comically diverse. But more just the actual human models are hard to look at, including Aloy herself, which they purposely made more ugly, even resembling Nikocado Avocado, and adding peach fuzz on her face, because that's what we should do with more power on our consoles, right? Not to make the games better in any noticeable or significant way. No, to add peach fuzz on the main character's fucking face.
So it's like, all these different things. The brother, spoilers for Horizon Forbidden West, but Varl, the brother, he gets killed, but after he impregnates the black chick that's there in the second game. So just like in with Jesse in The Last of Us Part 2, he's there just to impregnate the woman and then die, so that a bunch of women can raise the boy, so he won't be toxically male. I don't know. Not that Varl was even toxically male, but they neutered him. They neutered the other dude. I forgot his name. The one who looks like a mechanic for Pittsburgh. They've ruined Horizon series for me. And then the developers do this annoying thing where they make the game harder. They take away things that exploits and skills, and they keep debuffing weapons and making it harder to upgrade, even though it's a single player game. So it's like, just let me have fun. Let me enjoy the powered, souped up weapons and armor. Let me upgrade these weapons faster so I could just run around and blow up monsters without making it a chore and a slog each time. But these sociopaths keep doing it. They did it in the first game, and then they destroy that armor, the special armor you did all that work for in the first game. What was that shimmering armor? I forgot what it was called. Well, they destroy it in the second game, so you don't even have it, so fuck them. And then I just finished God of War Ragnarok. I'm trying to figure out how to do a video on it. I don't want to necessarily do a review. I've done a couple of rants and I've deleted them because I've just been all over the place. But I'm done with that series too. Short part of it is, because I still may try to do a video of some kind on it. It's basically, the game is too long. I love the first game. Second game is too long. And on top of that, what makes it even longer and more of an annoying, tedious game to play is all of the stupid environmental puzzles. Did a community post on how, I Googled, there are too many puzzles in this game. And a lot of people respond to people complaining online about it by saying, the puzzles are there to break up the monotony. But, like I say in my post, at this point, the puzzles are the monotony. Every 2 steps you go, there's another fucking environmental puzzle. And, sometimes they won't even be hard to figure out. It'll just be, you take a long time to find what you need, that you need to throw the axe at or to light on fire, whatever. Or even if you do see it immediately, it takes forever to figure out exactly the right way to throw it and to call the axe back, all the stupid shit that you have to go through. And the game already, I think the main storyline itself is like 25 to 30 hours. You know, it took me almost 50 hours to beat the game, and it's still not really fucking finished. And there's some side quests, a lot of side quests that I just ignored. And I had to bust it down to give me story difficulty just to try to get through it faster, and it still was fucking hard. There was still enemies like the berserkers. I couldn't beat the berserkers, and I was like, I'm not focusing on this now. I just want to finish this story to see exactly what happens. That's all I want to do right now. And it was still a chore at give me a story mode to get through. So I'm done with it. There's stuff that I got issues with Freya. I have issues with how the women look for the most part in general, although I think Thrud was gorgeous. Even though Angrboda's cute, you know, I'm tired of black people in Norse mythology and shit. That was ridiculous. Other issues, like I said, I'll probably try to do another video on that. But basically, I was done with Horizon Forbidden West because a lot of the elements clearly are SJW woke bullshit that is absolutely predictable at this point. Same thing with God of War. I knew all the beats, all the things that was going to happen in God of War Ragnarok because of, you just know these are SJWs. You know, they've got black people. They have black Norse gods. So you know what's going to happen. You know, the women are going to be praised, overpraised. You know, that they're not going to really be attractive. You finally see Faye, and Faye looks like, again, I always use this term, but it fits. Faye looks like a goddamn Karen. She just looks so boring and unimpressive. And then they have the nerve to say that she not only fought Thor to a standstill once, but she actually beat him or was beating him. I didn't finish that storyline, that quest where they refer to a big fight that Faye had with her axe against Thor. And it's like, this spirit is like, she was the most amazing warrior I've ever seen, brave. And she was using the most precise precision battle against Thor. And it's like, shut the fuck up. You know, if you're playing a game and every time a man talks about a woman in a way that makes you go, oh, fuck off, you know there's a problem. And that's the thing. So there's game elements that make me sick of both Horizon series and God of War series, but more than anything, it's the actual story. It's the characters. Kratos being a whiny, womanly bitch about wanting to protect Atreus. And it's, again, I'm going to do another video, so I won't, you know, because I've been thinking about God of War, sort of thinking about Horizon Forbidden West, and how, you know, both of these are big sequels to great first games of the series. So, you know, even though Zero Dawn in particular had a lot of SJW elements in it, it got worse with the second game. You know, Aloy was attractive in the first game, but there was nothing like sexual or sexualized about her or anything. She had the one little outfit where you could see her little belly. And other than that, though, you know, she was very, I don't know, she did have, like I said, at least like 3 boyfriends and 1 girlfriend, like potential characters that she kind of flirted with and that you could, you know, see her ending up with. And the sequel, they eliminated that pretty quick. She made a comment about Varl, how she didn't like the beard he grew. But then after that, it was done. They paired Varl off with some other woman that had killed him off. And then she was just pretty much just not just dead from the waist down, but dead from the neck down. She was just so boring and unappealing. And they just, you know, it was beyond being stoic. It was just unappealing. And like I said, it was really done because they don't want female characters to be appealing. They're afraid of that. They want men to be intimidated and afraid of women. They don't want them feeling comfortable and, I don't know, like everything's going to go back to Mad Men days or something where men just, you know, freely slap women on the asses. And I don't know. With God of War, they added too many people to it. The great thing about the first game, you know, is that you have Kratos and his son, and then a couple other people that you run into. And the second game is just overstuffed with this inclusion and diversity. And that's another problem with inclusion and diversity. You diffuse the intent of your story. You diffuse the tension. You diffuse focus. You know, there's just random people in the second game. Like I said, I'm not going to get into it, but they're just random people in the second game that are like being highlighted. Like one guy sacrifices himself to save him, and it's like, who the fuck is this guy? Out of nowhere, he just stands up and is like, hurrah! And you're like, wait, who is this asshole? And they focus on him like he's somebody important. And you just see him earlier sitting around in a camp. He doesn't even want to talk to you. And then all of a sudden, hours later, this asshole gets the focus of like this huge dramatic sacrifice scene. And it's like, I don't even know who the fuck this guy is. So I don't know. Look at something like Hogwarts Legacy. the way people, social media and the media attacked it, tried to boycott it. The boycott failed. Even though the developers included a trans character and gave players the option to play as a trans character, social media and the media still attacked the game. And not just the game, they also attacked the people who played. So that should be enough for developers and publishers to be like, all right, you know what? That's enough. There's only so much we can do. Like, they already had enough sense not to give codes to like Kotaku and Polygon and certain other outlets, because they knew before the game even came out, they knew that they weren't going to get a fair shake. And it's hilarious to me that the Kotaku Impressions article that everybody's been talking about, in the article talking about how basically, you know, Warner Brothers didn't give us a review code because, you know, no doubt they were trying to have, you know, good publicity surrounding the game's release. But I think it's important that they should have given us a copy anyway. And it's like, fuck off. You literally are letting them know, or telling everybody, you're literally admitting that even if you got a review code, you wouldn't have given the game a fair shake, that you would immediately have attacked it for existing in the first place. What is the use of giving a review code to a publication that's already decided that the game shouldn't even exist? What are you reviewing at that point? Because it doesn't matter. You can literally say, well, there's some good things about the game, but it's just all the surface level. It's just the game. There's a deeper meaning behind it that's awful and rotten and to the core. And therefore, you shouldn't play this game. And if you do play the game, you're just mealy-mouthed loser who doesn't want to overthrow the system on behalf of trans people. So what is the fucking point? These people make no sense. They have no internal consistency or logic. All they care about are their social issues and their pet projects. They don't care about actual gaming. So yeah, I mean, if that doesn't teach people that they shouldn't rely on social media and media to dictate their standards and practices and the kind of stories they want to tell and the kind of characters they want to put in it, then I don't know if anything will. Like I said, a big problem is hiring all these weirdos to work for them in the first. You know, they should do the Netflix thing where it's like, hey, look, assholes, we're going to make the stories and we're going to do the kind of things we want to do. If you don't like it, you don't have to work here because you're costing us money. We'll see, though. Chris Gore says 2 years. I can't see, you know, looking at Hogwarts in particular and looking at the whole, you know, failure of the boycott and everything and the way in which these people went after actual gamers who played the game. I can't see these people being taken seriously anymore. And you see how vicious they become because they're desperate, because they know how stupid they look and they know how much this failed. And you can't tie a video game to real life, but they tried to do it. And so, and at a certain point, you have to step back and go, wait a minute. If they're saying this about, you know, people dying because of a video game, they can make up any story. This whole, we want to be seen, black people and POCs want to be seen as Norse gods and as formerly historically white people, white queens. Now we want black people to play those white real life figures. So we'll see. Hogwarts is giving these people a window into how they can move going forward. It'll benefit not just gamers, of course, if they drop this SJW woke bullshit, but it'll also make them a lot more money. But it seems like these people don't really care about that. They just seem to dig a hole, you know, that's bigger and bigger and deeper and deeper. But we'll see. We'll see.